And I am getting my chat already. Awesome. That means I'll be able to actually close my my YouTube for once. Once I bring that up on my second screen, close that. Okay, going to my YouTube, going home. Right on. Okay, everything seems to be working fine. Grab the link. So the purpose today is to do a interview with my friend Christopher Evrard to help him promote his art book, which I continuously get wrong about the purpose of it. But as I understand it, and if I have this incorrect, I'm sure Christopher will be kind enough to correct me. Hi Sasquatch, good to see you. I'm just getting this shilling sorted out here. And Stormy, hi Stormy. Control A, Control C. I do apologize for muttering to myself, but you guys are used to me talking to myself all the time anyway. Okay, let's get it posted to Twitter. Let's get it posted to Getter. Done. Posting to Gab. And I will ask my audience very kindly if you would be so supporting to oh dear, I've screwed up badly. I cannot believe I did that. Okay, I have to start shilling all over again. Because being the absolute genius I am, I forgot to actually grab the YouTube link. Control C. Okay, close. And Christopher, I know, is probably hanging on the line waiting for me to call him. So I will be doing that shortly. Monkey has popped in. Hi, Monkey. Good to see you. Sasquatch is forced to talk to myself to speak with an equal. Yeah, we have the Stephen issue, if you remember Braveheart. Okay, retweeted. Now let's get it re-gettered. If that is a verb, it will be after today, because damn it, I say so. But as I was saying, the purpose of this is to have a short interview with my friend Christopher Evrard in promotion of his art book, which, if I recall correctly, is intended to fund... sorry, the Kickstarter is intended to fund the art book, which is, if I recall correctly, a build on from a promise he had made during a previous Kickstarter. And I'm sure he will kindly explain that in much better detail for us once I get all this shilling done and give him a call. And of course my computer is slowing down, because of course it does. I'm hopeful once I have everything. Sasquatch says, I just don't think God is interested in YouTuber drama. I don't know. I tend to think God is the ultimate spectator and just loves everything his creations do, if he exists. And of course, being an unconvinced atheist, I have to suffice that with if he exists. Oh, anytime, computer. Yep. Just making sure I don't shill to the wrong channels. I don't want to tick off anybody who was kind enough to invite me to their Discords. And, as always, of course, your manners do matter. And as the little piece of wisdom from Kingsman the Golden Circle pointed out, manners do in fact maketh man. And I do believe I just accidentally double shilled in one of these. So I do apologize. I believe that was, yes, that was my friend's server. I do apologize, Rose. If I double shill in the Cabal, you guys can kiss my... Never mind. And one final one here. Yes. Okay. And I will give Christopher a call now. And we will hopefully have good sound.
Hello?
Hi, Christopher. Just speak a little bit more for me so I can see what your sound level is like.
I have a big penis, I am depressed.
If you have a big penis, why are you depressed? Okay, I'll just...
sucks and she does not suck my dick, so... very disappointing.
Okay, we'll move along from that particular topic now. Let me just check the call here to make sure it's not going to slow me down too much. There we go, turn off my camera. Okay, how are you doing today, my friend?
We are live on...
We are, in fact, live on YouTube.
Okay. I will start to behave then. Well, I do my best. That's the most positive answer I can give right now.
Awesome. Okay, and just to mention to my chat, chat says if he doesn't exist, then I am the dominant form of existence. Ah, okay, that's Sasquatch talking about the existence of God. That's a little esoteric for this particular stream, so we'll go into other things at this point. Let me just bring that up.
I will need to rewatch the intro of the videos to check what the chat and the live heard from me the first time.
Everything that you said from the time you picked up the call.
Oh, okay, perfect.
But I wouldn't worry about it too much. My audience is quite solid, and I very carefully make sure that I do not make content for children. So.
Oh no, it's I don't want people to have the impression that I am a goth emo depressed stuff. Not yet. Maybe later, but not yet.
Okay, a couple of quick little announcements while I'm here. Today is, in fact, the actual anniversary of my first live stream. When I first started, I was doing them on Saturdays, and it turns out that, and STORMYEYES is nice enough to point that out in chat, when I started, I was doing them on Saturdays. It turns out when you go a year later, the day moves on. So it turned out that I worked out to actually be streaming on the anniversary of my first stream. So it has been 1 year. I just wanted to point out that I had initially set myself a goal for one subscriber every 2 days, which was roughly 180 subscribers. I have actually passed that point just a little over a week ago, so I will continue to do this until people scream at me to stop. At which point I will set up a Kickstarter, and they will have to crowdfund me to stop. Now, speaking of Kickstarters, I've got your Kickstarter on screen now, Christopher. Did you want to say a little something about the purpose of the Kickstarter?
Well, the purpose and the goal of the Kickstarter is to fund the art book of my novel series, or at least everything that you can read and discover and meet in the first 4 novels. Because this is a very long ongoing thing. I mean, technically I would need between 7 and 9 books to finish this book series, but even after that I will continue to work and keep making stuff related to the universe of Demon Realms. This is what I'm writing right now. So this book novel ongoing is the pillar of my universe, the founding myth.
Okay. So it's a fantasy universe.
Yes.
And one of my biggest questions about most fantasy universes is always what sort of magical system do you have?
I know what you mean. Like I'm high fantasy or low fantasy. Like is everything a powerful mage or just having a pointy stick?
Yeah, yeah. Is it?
Yeah, it's a bit in between because magic is well known and there are technically a lot of mages and magic users around, but they are not like in every single corner of every street. It's more like everyone has a latent potential need to and so in the very old ages of my universe, there was like a giant war with the dwarf kingdom, and technically there it was a very high fantasy setting, but it's not anymore, and there were not only magic but more like alchemy and not man-made but demon-made monstrosity that was going on, and technically also magic. So it's in between. It's in between, but in the current time of the storyline in the novel, not everyone have magic. It's a special cast, you could say.
Okay, so it's kind of a genetic gift, or
It's a mix between genetic gift and knowing how to awaken your potential.
oh,
But
okay, that does sound
definitely not
interesting then.
everyone know how to awaken this.
Oh, okay, I've just got a slideshow of some of the images you sent me running on screen right now as well, and let me just kill those. There we go. I'll just let that run while we talk then.
Yeah, because my novel, the actual book with the stories in it, not only the pretty picture, it's an illustrated book. So there is between like 15 and 30 black and white illustration in each book.
Okay, so you did actually do quite a lot of work to get these books together.
A lot of money also, yes.
I imagine, yeah.
Yeah, and this is a very much double-edged sword because many people said to me, and to be honest, even sometimes my team say, it's too much, Chris. It's got too much, cost too much money, and I'm like, yeah, but if I don't do this, the whole project fall on itself. You know what I mean? It's like it's not an illustrated book anymore. It's not an art book anymore. Yeah, it's a costly choice, but I came on the side of I want cool stuff.
Yeah, I absolutely understand. Now, some of the creatures that show up in your book, they look reminiscent of Dungeons and Dragons. So, would you say you were a fan of that particular fandom?
No,
No, not a big Dungeons and Dragons guy at all, eh?
no, I like the game system. You know, having an adventure party, doing adventure stuff and all. But the setting of Dungeon and Dragon itself does not speak to me at all.
Oh, okay.
I'm more Warhammer guy or horror movie guy.
Oh, okay then. So,
I like monsters.
okay. So does that particular side of your fan, I guess fandom is the right term. The horror side, is that what you probably would say is more of an influence on your books?
Yes, I'm a and very much of enjoyer of a genre called dark fantasy, which includes stuff like the manga Berserk, the Call of Cthulhu, Warhammer. Sometimes the old Warhammer, especially from the Chaos Gods and some faction like the Skavens or the Lizardmen. So yeah, this kind of stuff, and some comic book as well. For example, John Constantine Hellblazer, which I made a video not so long ago that unfortunately for you I don't, is not available in English. Yeah, I'm very much a monster guy, and some horror movie or horror IP, for example, what's the name? Hellraiser, stuff like that, or Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger. Love it, love it.
Okay. So chat has said that your audio is a lot quieter than mine, so I've actually turned the audio up and lowered my own voice. So I will ask chat to let me know how everything sounds now. And
all max on my side, so
yeah, and I'm still getting, excuse me, I'm still getting a handle on OBS, so or vanilla OBS anyway, but it's very intuitive compared to what I was dealing with Streamlabs. So I will open it up to the chat, and if chat has questions for you, I would certainly invite them. In the meantime, I know that we've talked about this quite a lot, about your book and such, and what I'm wondering more than anything else is, how long of a process have you been going through to get to this point?
You mean, do I have to go back to the first time I was writing stuff, or the actual process of this book series?
Well, you can start where you feel comfortable. I'd certainly like to know when you started writing.
Yeah, so the first time I ever wrote was, I think I was a little wee lad, a little kid. I like fantasy universe and cartoon, TV show, bande dessinée, since I am in the French-speaking world. I'm Belgian, not French, so please don't insult me that much yet. Please.
yeah, folks, be kind to him. He speaks Belgish, not French.
But yeah, I always love the going on escapism. It's something that is very important for me, and my cat is complaining.
I was wondering what I was hearing in the background.
Sorry, I have to calm her down a bit, because the older she gets, the more attention-seeking she becomes.
Yeah.
She's not happy. I don't know why, but she's not happy. Either way, the first time I ever wrote something for myself, like for the sole pleasure of writing, was when I was in school. I was in the classroom even, and I was bored to hell, like so many times, and I started writing something a bit like Indiana Jones, and another thing, but I don't imagine this is known in the English-speaking world. It's something like it's something called, in French, Le Club des Cinq, which translates roughly like the Club of Five, which is 5 kids having a very childish adventure. And so this bunch of people went like in a Mayan or Aztec temple, with snake pits and traps and stuff like that. A bit like the Goonies, but more Indiana Jones like. And this was my first story I ever wrote, and I was, I think, 9.
Oh wow!
And then afterwards, I took more and more pleasure in writing my stuff. I did some personal fan fiction for Warhammer, for Dragon Ball, for every IP I loved, and since I was enjoying this more and more and more, I took more interest in more serious stuff like poetry, philosophy, stuff like that, and I started writing poetry, like I call it thinking writing, which is more like a theory or a question that you pose for yourself, which, for example, what is exactly freedom? And I wrote and I try to think with myself. And the first time I envisioned a future for me in the writing scene was in 2008, 9, something like that, because I had a very high problematic professional venture since school, it was very difficult for me, and the job market was hell, just hell for me. And I started to notice that definitely there was something wrong with me. And afterwards, I was dead right because I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. But for that time, in 2011, I said to myself, since I was decided to stop going in the job market and trying to find a normal job and all, imagine having a future and a job in writing my own stuff. And I tried a bit, but for this period of time, it was very complicated because I had to find a home. I had to find the diagnosis of my speculated at the time autism, and it took many years. And it was only in 2015 that I had my home finally, and I had the diagnosis and an handicap pension. So starting 2015, I started writing this book series like properly. And since 2018, each year I publish something, self-published, because publishing house didn't want to give me a chance, unfortunately.
Yeah, I do a little bit of writing myself, and generally I've kept it to myself because I don't really expect that I'd have much success getting published. And
Well, the
I
publishing sphere is very much infected with wokeism and SJW and diversity and inclusion, and it's, if you are not deemed pure enough, you will never get published.
yeah, that's very unfortunate too.
Yeah, and
Uh,
if you are if you are doing, for example, LGBTQ plus Pokemon shiny stories, you have a chance, and you can also with something that is in the the mode, because that we say in the fashion, the fashion of the time. For example, at one time, it was very much oriented dystopia, like the movie Labyrinth and stuff. So there is like a fashion from time to time for books, and if you are in this kind of perfect moment for a specific fashion, you have a chance. But if the publisher finds out you have the wrong thing, contract revoked.
yeah, and with my own experience with self-publishing on Amazon, I was not particularly pleased about it. I had, excuse me again. I had published a short story, which I had intended to be the beginning of a sort of a dark fantasy as well. More, I think, a lighter tone possibly than your Demon Realms, but with a much more horror-oriented sort of thing than I normally would do. And while
You
it
mean
set...
like the stories I wrote for you with the Christmas stories?
No, a little darker than that. A little bit of Lovecraft, a little bit of Jim Butcher kind of combination, and then some of the old school TSR books. I don't know if you ever read any of those. You say you're not a fan of D&D, so I wouldn't expect
No.
that you've read much in the novelizations of those. But what ended up happening with me was that my story sat on Amazon for, I think, well over a year, and I think I had maybe one sale in all that time.
You have to be, when you are self-published, you need to be competent in every aspect of your craft, of course. For example, you need to do your own grammar correction, you need to do your own um, cover art, you need to do your layout, you need to do, being well versed in the format, because every website and printer have its own format sometimes. So you have so many hats you have to be good at, and on the even more, you have to be competent in marketing. You need to, every single day, every fucking hour, you need to yell on the internet and to your friends, buy my book, look into this, blah blah blah. It's actually driving me nuts today with my Kickstarter project, and it's a topic I won't go too deep into it because I don't want to sound too much depressed, but yeah, it's hell. I mean, especially if you are truly an artistic person, a creative person. Today, being in a marketing side, a publicity side, it's soul crushing. It's soul crushing. I hate it from every goddamn fiber of my being. It's the antithesis of being an artist.
Yeah, and as much as my friends like to praise my ability to shill and market myself at this point, when I first put that up, I had no ability whatsoever to do it. I was still fairly new to the internet, and or at least the modern internet, and found that I was completely at sea when it came to actually getting my work out there, getting it in front of people. I imagine that was probably one of your challenges as well.
Even more so since I am autistic. Yourself is a new land every single day. You need to discover, oh, this doesn't work either. But yeah, if every day is a chore, it's the struggle, it's... I think I made my point pretty clear.
Yeah. Just trying
and if you may, at some point in the stream, show the black and white illustration, please, for some of the novels.
I will certainly go and look for them to grab them. I believe those were in the Discord?
It's in the Google Drive also.
Okay, then let me just...
It's in another file, like Tome 1, Tome 2, stuff like that.
Okay, I will put the slideshow back on screen while I hunt that down. Since you were kind enough to share some private stuff with me.
Yeah, no worries with that. Because as I said, every single book is illustrated, so you have between, as I said, 15 to 30 drawing, black and white drawing, and it's actually taken from the novel themselves. It's not like, oh, draw me a dragon, random one, doesn't matter if it's in the book or not. No, it's every single scene of the book. So I work with the artist. I don't draw myself, of course, but you can say I'm an art director because all the design, all what's happening in the picture, it's what's happening in the book.
Oh, okay. Let me just find a couple. Okay, there's an image that speaks to me to no end. Let me see. Can I open that on my screen?
Now
just
I don't
trying.
know what to do or what to say.
Yeah, no, I do apologize. I don't like to leave too much dead air. Okay, we do have a good question. Actually, Billy Blogs is asking who did the artwork. So if you tell us a little bit about the artist or artists, that would be good.
It's a bit complicated question because I had, for the time being, 3 different artists. So first off, there was a girl named Jenny Burgi. I have the range, so I will give some link. 1 second.
Yep.
So this particular lovely girl made the art for my first book, and she's very, 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 very talented and a sweetheart to no end. But unfortunately, she had health issues and problem and her own thing going on, and she was unable to keep the pace with the publishing rhythm I had because she's kind of slow, to be honest.
Okay.
But she's so talented, I don't mind. The problem is, since I publish something every year, it was not possible for her with her health problem. So when she started working on the second book, she said, yeah, no, I won't be able to do it and make it in time, and it's better for you to find someone else. So I did. From the second book, I started working with a guy named Thomas Bourdon, which I will also give a link. It's not Instagram, it's this art station.
Okay. If you... oh, never mind then. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find...
And this guy worked from the second book, the third book, the fourth book, and a little bit from the art book itself. For
Okay.
example, the deal with the eerie forest, he did it. The red demon, he did it also. He did the cover with the big giant scary demon who hold the planet or something. Also, he did that. But except from that, nothing else. Because he had a wonderful job opportunity, and he said, "I'm sorry, but I have to go." And I deeply understand, and therefore came a third woman, a third person, which is also a woman, which the nickname is Yenka, and I will also give link.
Okay, you actually did an interview with her recently on your channel as well, didn't you?
Fuck, I fucked up the link. It's not an interview. It's more like I presented her work and what she does and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Sorry, good link. But she participated in the podcast with the three people who work for my stuff. So we did like a podcast together explaining so how much a motherfucker Christopher is and stuff like that.
Absolute slave driver, I imagine, are you?
I am a monster. I don't pay my artists. I steal everything they does and make my own AI work and stuff like that.
Oh, gods.
Either way, so Yenka started working on the art book, and she made, I think, 3 art pieces. For example, the sea depth picture you made for your thumbnail. This is one she did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I being a Newfoundlander and being closely tied to the ocean, that one really spoke to me. Yeah. Okay, so I've got a bunch of new things downloaded. I'm just going to open that up, throw that into a folder, and I'll put a second slideshow together really quickly. Let me see. You had said something a minute ago, and I've forgotten what it was. Let me see the artwork. Yanka. Okay, Bay State wants to know if you think penguins have knees.
Apparently they have, I think. I've seen it somewhere. But I know it's a very philosophical question. They cannot bend. They just fall face flat.
So, if you had your choice or your wish, like this is one of the questions I know you ask as well. If you had your absolute wish, what would you want to be able to do? With when it comes to in life in general, if you want, but specifically with your writing career, what would you most like to see happen?
I want to live with my passion, to make money with it. That's my end goal in the universe, man. I don't need more. I just want to make a decent living. I don't know, like in France, Belgium, Europe in general, we have very, very different system of economy than the US, or I think Canada too. So, for example, with €2,000 per month, free of taxes, I'm okay with that. I don't need much more. It will be okay for me. I won't be rich, but yeah, that's enough to have an okay life. So yeah, just having the ability to make a bit of money and don't have to rely on social security, don't have to rely on food aid, don't have to rely on, for example, now my mother, because my apartment is just shit and I'm going a bit crazy in it right now because of my neighbor and the neighborhood itself, or also because there are so many junkies and drunk tards and yeah, it's I just want a normal life.
Yeah, I think that's something we all kind of yearn for, is a bit of peace and quiet. Let me see.
I think you may have fucked up the the slide.
I may have the perspectives a little wrong there. Yeah, just give me one moment. I will put the thumbnail back on screen, and I will check and see if I didn't mess that up by... I think I probably hit stretch to screen rather than fit to screen for those.
Maybe.
Yeah, I believe I did. Let's see if that looks a bit better. Yeah, that definitely looks a lot nicer. Just waiting for the confirmation to come in on that now.
Okay. But yeah, regarding my wish regarding my work, I just want to live and that my work that make my living, my wage and everything would be my artistic activity.
Oh, okay. Oh, now I remember what my question was. You had mentioned AI art earlier.
Yeah.
And that was something I was going to ask you about. There's a lot of speculation that translation, especially, will be able to be done by AI. Being someone who's a bit of a, I guess the colloquialism is a grammar Nazi, I find that spelling and things like that, especially using programs like spell check, is absolutely atrocious. And I'm beginning to find that I see really simple typos in many different places, like the regular mainstream broadcast news, supposed journalism pieces, and I was wondering what your thoughts would be on the possibility of AI being able to actually write a story.
Oh, the actually exists right now for quite some years, if I'm not mistaken, and they work. It's functional, but you don't have the soul and the feeling of it. It's very robotic. I remember years and years and years ago. I think it may be more than 20 years ago. So in Belgium there is how to translate that? A tournament, a challenge, something like that.
Okay.
Regarding classical music. It's named in French Concours Reine Elisabeth, Elizabeth Queen. So various classical musicians, compete against each other to check which one of them has the biggest deck. And apparently 1 year they had an AI, a robot, made a partition for the artist to play and see who is the more talented of them. And it was a very technical and very complicated partition. And I remember vividly maybe 3 or 4 or 5 artists saying something. Yeah, we can definitely feel it was made by an AI because it wasn't you felt that it wasn't normal. You felt that it wasn't made by a human or famous composer or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So there is already AI infecting the art world from decades ago. And I think that AI will never be able to compete with the genius of our time and our species, but they will replace the mediocre one.
Okay. Now, I do know you need to get ready to go and talk to someone else, so I will let you go in just a moment. But if you would be so kind as to translate what's on screen there now to talk about this very, very large figurine, which is one of your rewards, if I recall correctly.
I will give you the English translation pieces.
Okay.
Because there is one.
Okay.
1 second.
If my French hasn't failed me, this says that this is Atmec in all his sinister glory.
Yes.
Okay. So Atmec is the name of is this kind of the chief bad guy in your world, or?
Oh, he's not the chief. He is a chief, definitely, but he's not the chief.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, this is the translation, the translated part. but I will read it so you can
Okay.
you have the time to put the correct picture in the live stream. So Atmekinol is dark glowy, height about 35 centimeter, which roughly translates in 14 inches. And it's continued to say, we were lucky enough to meet some talented 3D artists, and so it was time to offer a figurine from the Demon Realms universe with the publishing of the art book. And what figurine it is, my friend, and the estimated value of the hand-painted figurine is 900 euros.
Wow. Okay.
And believe me, it's
Newtown.
it's expensive to make a 3D and painted figurine. It's well, I can say that the prototype, which you saw in the picture, the painted one, cost me a bit more than 3,000 euros.
Oh wow. Okay, let me just get that onto the screen.
And just for the art itself, so the colored art from the art book, for example, the sea depths you seem to like, for around 100 pieces, so 100 drawing, it will cost me around 9,000 euros.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I know you're
Art is very expensive. Art is very, 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 very expensive, and people don't understand that. And I recently had some criticism about the price of the object I try to sell. For example, the art book or stuff like that. So someone told me, oh, for 35 euros, which is the price I will ask for the art book if it come to life. Oh, it's very expensive. I can find other art book for way cheaper. Yes, they are made by Blizzard, or they are made by
companies and corporations that can afford to pump out massive amounts of things for bulk cost. Yeah. And being a woodworker, I run into somewhat the same thing. Like, I have some products that I've produced where I've had people look at me and go, oh, I can go to Walmart and buy the same thing for $30. And it's very difficult to hold my temper and not yell at them, yes, but when you go to Walmart and buy things like that for $35, you're paying for slave labor. And it's one of those things that...
You also enrich the already rich, and
Yep.
I understand the economic argument, because not everyone has money today. Sometimes $10 can be the difference between life and death for some people. I genuinely believe that. I am also a poor man myself. The thing is, it's either I put this price, or I don't do the thing I want to do at all. For example, my novel. Oh, you could cut them in two and sell two for cheaper, and for it will denature the whole thing. It's like, yeah, I can listen to music, for example, classical music, but if I cut the violin, it would be cheaper.
Yeah.
There is no violin. It's very complicated for normies to understand this argument, and on one hand I understand, and on the other hand I'm like, yeah, but please educate yourself on the price of craftsmanship, please.
Yeah, and that's where you tend to run into a lot of problems, is people don't understand the value of craftsmanship. And it's unfortunate, especially here in the West, we have a very discard, consume again sort of society that's kind of occurred. And it would be wonderful if we could go back to the days where if you had an appliance that broke down, you would call a repairman, as opposed to calling a store and buying a new one. Hopefully one of these days we can start to see the value in the older things again. Anyway, my friend, I will let you go. I know you have to go and prepare for another stream. So,
yes.
And I will, of course, pop in there as soon as I have an opportunity.
It's in 1 hour, but we'll have a bit of time to recompose myself, because yeah, it's not always easy to make live stream for me, but I thank you very much for your time and the opportunity to show my work to your audience. I really appreciate it. Thank you everyone in chat. I may have not answered every question because I was too focused to listening to sexy ardent voice. But yeah, thank you. You can find me in the Sultans Discord. I think that pretty much everyone in the chat today is in the Sultans.
I think pretty much everybody is. What few people aren't, I will absolutely put an invite to Sultans Discord in the chat shortly. In the meantime, mon ami, a bientôt, and have a good day.
Thank you, my friend. Have a nice day, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay. And as I did make a promise just a moment ago, and I am a man of my word, I will in fact invite everyone to the Sultan server by doing the standard copy and paste. There we go. Now do let me know if I've gotten a little too loud. I have raised my voice back to a relatively normal level. If you do find me to be a little loud, let me know. And for the next few minutes, you guys are going to be stuck looking at my beautiful face. Hi, how you doing? So, I want to thank everybody for being here. I especially want to thank Christopher for coming on and helping me celebrate my first anniversary as a YouTuber. I think I've finally gotten to the point of saying that I can accept that title and apply it to myself. It's definitely been an interesting experience getting into this, I suppose, career. Though I'm not making a hell of a lot of money doing it, I do have a couple of very wonderful supporters on my Subscribestar, Simon JJ and Stormy herself. And I will give a little piece of wisdom there. Don't date your stalker. Generally, it ends up badly. She's actually in the room. Did you want to say hi?
Hello, everyone.
There you go. Now, I will actually ease up on your ears by lowering my my mic to something more akin to not blowing your ears out. Close that. Okay, everyone. Now this is me back at my normal volume. This will continue to be my normal volume going forward on streams. If it's loud, by all means, let me know. Maureen in chat says €45 is reasonable. Most art books she owns are more expensive. And yeah, I did want to make that point as well. I believe he had actually said €35. And in Canadian, that's roughly $60, I believe. That's for something like an art book that you intend to keep and enjoy for years. That's a fairly minimal amount of money. Not a Bobcat says, oh yeah, it really doesn't seem like it's been a year. Congratulations, man. Thank you very much. Patriot Will says, happy anniversary. Thank you very much, my friend. Let me see here. I've got a couple of salutes. What's the other stream? I have to apologize, Monkey. I've forgotten. I don't recall, but I do believe it's related to Trim. I think it's one of the other Sultans. I can't remember 100% for sure. But the moment I spot it, I will certainly let you know. And I'm just scrolling back through chat here. Billy Blogs says to Callum, I remember an advert from Grammarly which showed the program suggesting a grammatical error as a good thing. It really puzzled me. Yeah, I don't blame you. One of the issues I have with Grammarly, especially with Grammarly, is that it has occasionally been known to alter the tone of what you're trying to say. I did notice another comment someone had... here we go. Billy himself had said that MS Spellcheck put a spelling mistake in his thesis on the first page, which turned pathogenesis into parthenogenesis, after he was advised to run a spell check at the last minute. I will say this. Never run a spell check right before you are submitting work. That is an absolutely terrible idea. And yeah, I don't blame you for being embarrassed, Billy. Penguins have knees. Sure, I don't necessarily care. All I know is you have to grind them up real fine to make Guinness. And if you don't get that reference, you guys need to go and Google Al Murray pub landlord. And apparently we discovered that the plural of cloaca is cloacae, or cloacae. They do not have penises. Well, score 1 for the humans over the penguins. And yeah, the artwork from this, I mean, these 2 slideshows, and I'm going to try to put them side by side if I can. Let me see, can I make you move? Let's put you over here. For the record, guys, I have given up completely on Streamlabs because it's just too clumsy. And that one can go. Oh, we'll move you over in the corner. Still covering a little bit of my pretty face, but that's not that big a deal. I can actually break down and shrink myself. And we'll put me back up here. There we go. Nobody likes to see my face that big anyway. Even me. There we are. And my badge is still there. Lock that down. Grab... which slideshow is that? That's this one. Okay. And... no, it won't do that, but it will do that. There we go. Okay. So, leaving that all running, and click that in. There we go. Yeah, the artwork for most of his books, and I mean, he was nice enough to give me access to some behind-the-scenes links. I mean, I almost want to buy his books just to look at the artwork that's in them. As he said, he has, I think it was between 15 and 30 illustrations in each book, each novel. I'm also kind of balancing on the idea of picking up a French upgrade course. I do speak a little bit of French. I've done a couple of advanced courses over the years. And one of the things that I really like is that there is a degree of romance to that language that English doesn't often have. Though I do find it's much easier to express certain sentiments in English than it is in French. Especially, and I've also got the Canadian, or the English-Canadian mild disdain for French in general. But that's more the rivalry between Newfoundland and Quebec. So, as I've just hit the hour mark, just about, if you guys have any questions for me, and feel free to pull a "do penguins have knees" sort of thing out of your hat and ask me any random question at all. I'll spend another 5 minutes or so on with you guys. I mean, one thing I do want to say. Patriot says, "Don't let him get a big pic of your face, not for free." That's true. Yeah, and I do have to point out that the second slideshow that I put up, that one, hang on, let me get the point right, that one over there, is just a selection of random stuff from different books. It was just stuff that appealed to me visually in the moment. This one especially is very nice, for obvious reasons. As I said, I'm a bit of a romantic. But even this one, there's a story behind this picture that I want to know. And not a Bobcat says, "I can surrender in 2 languages." Yes, but I can swear at you in 18. Let's see. The art is, yeah, it's all gorgeous art. I mean, even the stuff that's kind of just incidental or technical, like this, that one there. Some of it is absolutely gorgeous. Patriot asks if he can shill something. Sure. I'll only charge you a small fee of your immortal soul. I am a ginger after all. No, by all means, my friend, feel free. Callum Dayton says the only language he wants to learn is Nostradamus Nostraman. The Sunless Tongue. I don't know that reference. Kingdom of Vinland, as usual, is pestering people about their favorite Warhammer faction. Guy, I'm an orc guy. I like the idea that if you believe hard enough, you can make things happen. The fact that they're also essentially sentient fungus is kind of entertaining as well. That is a bargain. I need to mess with my window a little bit because I can't seem to get chat to look correct. Oh, that's not what I was after. But it'll do. Let's just break you out again. There we are. No, I want you side by side. There we are. Okay. Just getting a feel for the OBS interface. Patriot, we are auditioning a new game today, Obsession. You had a respected estate in 19th century Victorian England. Your goal is to improve your estate to gain standing with influential families in Derbyshire. Bay State wants to know if flat-chested girls grow boobs when they get pregnant, or does the baby just die? What? I swear my chat are almost as strange as I am some days. In any case, folks, I will just kill the shilling there. Now, one last thing I did want to point out. I am fortunate enough that Rumble has altered their policies slightly, and I am able to live stream to Rumble. As such, my thinking is that I may start doing a split show. I may do half an hour on YouTube and then half an hour exclusively on Rumble, but with the full hour obviously being on Rumble. I'm really very fond of Rumble's free speech stance, as you guys know. If you've been following my For Fuck's Sakes Friday segments, you know why. Hello, Holly. Holly is wondering what the hell she walked into. The very end of a stream, actually. I'm just winding down on my anniversary stream. I had my good friend Christopher Evrard on to talk about his Kickstarter for his art book, which is connected to his writing career. You're quite welcome for the wrench, Patriot. I generally wrench people I think are worthwhile. And again, like I said, guys, the rule with the wrenches is if you see spam, remove it, report it, block it. Other than that, you're done dealing with it. If someone decides to come in and give me a hard time personally, I got it. I'm going to gamer word. If not a Bobcat, if you want to see me gamer word, go check out my Gab account. I gamer word the hell out of one of Lovecraft's poems, which is titled On the Creation of Gamer Word. Yeah. Other than that, I am done. You guys have a great day. And as always, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you continue to have good days. Oh, damn it, Marku, get a Rumble account. Because I guarantee you, inside the next year and a half, especially with the way YouTube has changed their monetization policies, you're going to see a lot more traffic on YouTube. Off YouTube to Rumble. YouTube has actually changed their monetization. I'll go through this really quick before I leave. YouTube has changed their monetization in such a way that they can now charge back monies they have paid a creator if they decide, post facto, of course, that they no longer like the content that they paid the creator for producing. In other words, YouTube has basically guaranteed that they will never, ever be able to promote or to advance themselves without going full-on corporate. Rumble, yes, Rumble is, in fact, a lot better in a lot of ways than YouTube. It wants a phone number to allow you to chat. That's unfortunate. In any case, guys, I am done for the day. I am going to go and have some food, and then I have to get on the road. So, as Patriot is saying, be blessed, everyone, or have good luck at least. As I say, I hope you have a good day. I hope you continue to have good days. And of course, as always, rise and rise again until the lambs become